The space station floated like a shiny metal ball in the darkness of space. Inside, people from many different planets lived and worked together. Most areas were busy and loud, but the medical wing was quiet today. Dr. Li Han walked down the empty hallway. His white coat was clean and his kind eyes looked tired after a long day. He was the only doctor working in this part of the station tonight. The doors suddenly slid open with a soft hiss. Dr. Li turned around, surprised to see anyone this late. What he saw made him freeze. A tall, blue-skinned alien stood there. She had 4 arms and large purple eyes that took up most of her face. Those eyes were now wide with fear. In her lower arms, she held a small bundle wrapped in shimmering cloth. The bundle moved weakly. "Help," the alien mother said through her translator. "Device." Her voice shook. "My baby is sick." Dr. Li smiled and took a step forward. "I can help you. Please come in." The alien mother, Nara, backed away when she saw his teeth. Her species, the Nilari, only ate plants. They had flat teeth for grinding, leaves and fruits. Dr. Li's pointed canine teeth marked him as a meat-eater, what her people called a bone grinder. "I won't hurt you," Dr. Li said softly. He pointed to the medical symbol on his coat. "I'm a doctor. I help everyone who comes here." Nara looked down at her baby. The small blue face had turned a sickly grey color. The baby's eyes were closed, and it made a weak sound. "Teo is dying," Nara whispered. "No Nilari doctor can help him." Dr. Li nodded and pointed to an exam table. "May I scan him, just to see what's wrong?" Nara hesitated. Stories about humans had spread through the refugee ships. Humans could eat almost anything. They had strong jaws and sharp teeth. Some Nilari believed humans ate other thinking beings in secret. But her baby made another weak sound. She had no choice. Nara slowly walked to the exam table and placed her child down. Dr. Li picked up a scanner and showed it to her. "This just takes pictures inside the body," he explained. "It doesn't hurt." Dr. Li waved the scanner over the tiny alien child. The screen filled with strange patterns and colors. He frowned. "Your baby has a rare problem," Dr. Li said. "Something is missing from his blood. Did you leave your home planet recently?" Nara's eyes got even wider. "Yes. Our world was dying. We have been on ships for many months. The food—" She looked down. "The food is not like our home plants," Dr. Li nodded. He understood now. The baby was missing something that only grew on the Nilari home planet. "I need to do more tests," Dr. Li said. "But I think I can help." Nara watched as the human doctor gently touched her baby's arm with a small device. Teo made a tiny cry, and Nara almost grabbed him away. But Dr. Li moved so carefully, so kindly. "This will tell me what's in his blood," Dr. Li explained. "Then I can make medicine to help him." The machine beeped, and Dr. Li looked at the results. His face turned. "Serious? This is worse than I thought. The baby needs special help right away. Will you eat him?" Nara asked in a whisper. Dr. Li looked shocked. "Eat him? No, never. I'm a doctor. I save lives." "But you are a meat-eater," Nara said. "A bone grinder." Dr. Li shook his head. "Humans eat plants and animals, but never thinking beings. And as a doctor, I have sworn to help all living things." He pointed to another room. "I need to take him there to give him medicine. You can come too and watch everything I do." Nara picked up her baby and held him close. She had come this far. She had to trust this human now. "Save him," she said. "Please." As they walked to the treatment room, Nara noticed pictures on the wall. They showed Dr. Li with patients from many different species. All were smiling or looking healthy. Maybe, just maybe, the stories about humans were wrong. The baby made another weak sound. Teo was running out of time. And his only hope was a human with sharp teeth and gentle hands. The doors to the treatment room slid open with a soft hiss. Dr. Li carried little Teo carefully, with Nara following close behind. Her 4 arms were wrapped around herself in a nervous gesture. The medical bay was filled with strange machines that beeped and hummed. "I will show you everything I do," Dr. Li promised. He placed Teo on a small bed that adjusted to the baby's size. Nurse Song Mi entered the room. She smiled at Nara, careful not to show her teeth. Dr. Lee had quickly messaged her about the Nilari fear of human teeth. "This is Nurse Song. She will..." "Help me," Dr. Lee explained. Nara watched as they connected small sensors to Teo's blue skin. Screens lit up showing colorful lines and numbers. "What do those mean?" Nara asked, pointing a trembling finger at the displays. "They show us how Teo's body is working," Nurse Song explained. She demonstrated by putting a sensor on her own arm. "See, this is my heartbeat, and this shows my breathing." Dr. Lee looked at Teo's readings with concern. His body is missing an important nutrient. Without it, his cells cannot make energy. "From our home plants," Nara whispered. "The sacred berries that grow only on our world." Dr. Lee nodded. "I think we can make something similar in our lab. But first, I need to take a small sample of Teo's blood to test." Nara's large eyes widened in horror. "Blood? You want his blood?" Dr. Lee realized his mistake too late. To the plant-eating Nilari, taking blood was the act of a predator. "Just a tiny drop," he said quickly. "Look, I'll show you on myself first." Dr. Lee took a small device and pressed it against his own finger. A tiny red drop appeared. He placed it on a testing strip. "See? Just enough to help us learn what Teo needs. It doesn't hurt much." Nara moved closer, fascinated despite her fear. "Your blood is red. Ours is blue." "Different chemistries," Dr. Lee smiled. "But all life needs certain things to survive." After a long moment, Nara nodded. "You may take a drop from Teo." Dr. Lee worked quickly and gently. Teo made only a small sound when the device touched his tiny finger. The drop of blue liquid went into a machine. "Now we wait," Nurse Song said. "Would you like some water or plant food?" For the first time, Nara seemed to relax slightly. "Water, please." While they waited, Dr. Lee asked about the Nilari homeworld. Nara described beautiful forests with purple leaves and floating seed pods. "Our world was dying," she explained sadly. "The air became toxic. We had to leave on the refugee ships." The machine beeped. Dr. Lee examined the results and frowned. "Teo's missing compound is very complex," he said. "Making it will be difficult." "Can you do it?" Nara asked, fear returning to her voice. "Yes, but it will take time. And..." Dr. Lee hesitated. "We may need to use a protein that comes from humans." Nara stepped back, pulling her lower arms up in a defensive posture. "You want to feed my baby human parts?" No, Dr. Lee said quickly. "Just a small protein we can grow in the lab, nothing harmful." Nurse Song brought in a tablet showing diagrams of molecules. "See? This is the missing piece in Teo's blood. And this is the human protein that can be modified to replace it." Nara studied the diagrams. She didn't understand the science, but she could see they were trying to help. "Teo needs this to live?" she asked. "Yes," Dr. Lee confirmed. "Without it, his cells will stop working within days." Nara looked at her baby, whose breathing had become more labored. Then she looked at the human doctor's kind eyes. "You have helped. Many others?" she asked. Dr. Lee nodded. "It is my life's work. To heal, never to harm." Nurse Song pulled up images of Dr. Lee treating patients of different species. Nara saw the care in his movements, the gentleness in his hands. "Begin your work," Nara finally said. "Save my child." That night, Nara watched as Dr. Lee worked tirelessly in the lab. The human didn't rest or eat. She had been taught that humans were dangerous predators, but this one fought to save her baby with more dedication than she had ever seen. For the first time since entering the station, Nara felt something new replace her fear: hope. The lab was quiet except for the soft beeps of machines monitoring Teo's condition. Dr. Lee had been working for 2 days straight, his eyes red from lack of sleep. The protein synthesis was proving more complex than he had expected. Nurse Song had gone to rest, promising to return in a few hours. Nara sat beside her baby, singing a soft Nilari song. The translator was turned off, so Dr. Lee couldn't understand the words, but the melody was beautiful and sad. "That's lovely," Dr. Lee said, looking up from his microscope. Nara stopped singing. "It is an ancient song about the great tree that gives life. We sing it to sick children." Dr. Lee nodded and returned to his work. Under the microscope, the blue cells of Teo's blood sample were breaking down faster than before. Suddenly, the monitors around Teo began to alarm. The baby's skin had turned from pale blue to an ashen grey. His breathing became shallow and rapid. "What's happening?" Nara cried, jumping to her feet. Dr. Lee rushed to Teo's side, checking the monitors. "His condition is getting worse. His cells are failing faster than I expected." "You said we had days." Nara's voice rose in panic. "I thought we did." Dr. Lee's hands moved quickly, adjusting medications flowing into Teo's tiny arm. Something has changed. His body is shutting down. The door slid open and Nurse Song rushed in, responding to the alarms. "What can I do?" "The protein synthesis isn't complete," Dr. Lee said urgently. "We need more time." "There is no more time," Nurse Song replied, pointing to the monitors. The lines were becoming flatter, the numbers dropping. Dr. Lee made a quick decision. "We need to use my blood directly," Nara gasped. "What?" "The synthetic protein will take hours more to create," Dr. Lee explained rapidly. "But my blood contains the base compound. If we filter it properly, we might be able to create a temporary solution." "You want to put your blood into my child?" Nara's voice was filled with horror. "Not my blood directly," Dr. Lee said. "Just the protein from it. It's our only chance." Nurse Song was already setting up the equipment. "He's right, Nara. Teo has minutes, not hours." Nara looked at her baby. Teo's little chest barely moved now. His skin was almost white. "Will it turn him into a meat-eater?" she whispered. Despite the urgency, Dr. Lee took a moment to meet her eyes. "No. It will only give his cells what they need to live. Nothing more." A tear slid down Nara's face. "Do it." Dr. Lee quickly inserted a needle into his own arm. His red blood flowed into a complex machine that whirred to life. Nurse Song worked rapidly, adding chemicals and adjusting settings. "The centrifuge will separate the components," Dr. Lee explained as he worked. "Then we isolate just the protein Teo needs." The machine spun faster. Teo's monitor alarms grew more urgent. "Hurry," Nara pleaded. After what seemed like forever but was only minutes, the machine beeped. A small vial of clear liquid with a slight reddish tint emerged. "This is it," Dr. Lee said, drawing the liquid into a syringe. "The filtered protein. Nothing else." Nurse Song cleaned a spot on Teo's arm. Dr. Lee carefully inserted the needle and slowly pushed the plunger. The room fell silent. Even the alarms seemed to hold their breath. For one terrible minute, nothing happened. Teo's readings continued to fall. Then, so gradually they almost missed it, one number began to rise. Then another. "It's working," Nurse Song whispered. The grey color in Teo's skin slowly faded, returning to a pale blue. His chest rose and fell more strongly. Dr. Lee sank into a chair, suddenly exhausted. His arm, where the blood had been drawn, throbbed dully. "This is only temporary," he warned. "We still need to create the synthetic version, but this buys us time." Nara touched her child's face with a trembling hand. "You gave your blood to save him." "Yes," Dr. Lee said simply. "Our legends," Nara said slowly, "they tell that meat-eaters take blood to harm. But you gave yours to heal." For the first time since they met, Nara looked directly into Dr. Lee's eyes without fear. "Perhaps," she said softly, "our legends are incomplete." The soft blue glow of the medical equipment cast strange shadows across the treatment room. Teo's condition had stabilized after receiving the emergency protein from Dr. Lee's blood, but everyone knew this was only temporary. The baby needed a permanent solution. Dr. Lee stood over a complex machine that hummed quietly. Inside, his blood protein was being modified to match the exact structure Teo's body required. The process was delicate and slow. "How long will it take?" Nara asked. She hadn't left her baby's side for 3 days. "At least 12 more hours," Dr. Lee replied. His voice was rough from fatigue. "The molecular structure must be perfect, or Teo's body will reject it." Nurse Song entered with a tray of food. "You need to eat," she told Dr. Lee firmly. "You've given too much blood already." It was true. Dr. Lee had donated 3 times now to keep Teo stable while the permanent solution was being created. His Face was pale and dark circles hung under his eyes. "I'm fine," he insisted, but took the food anyway. Nara watched him eat. Human food looked strange to her. Some parts were plants, but other parts came from animals. Once this would have disgusted her. Now she understood it differently. "Your body makes this protein naturally," she said. "Because you eat both kinds of food?" Dr. Lee nodded. "Humans evolved as omnivores. We need nutrients from many sources. And now my son needs a nutrient that only comes from a meat-eater," Nara said quietly. "Just until we perfect the synthetic version," Dr. Lee assured her. "Once his body learns the pattern, we can make it from plant materials." A warning light flashed on one of Teo's monitors. Dr. Lee checked it quickly. "The protein is wearing off." "Faster this time," he said with concern. "His body is using it up." "Can you give more of your blood?" Nara asked. Nurse Song shook her head firmly. "No, he's given too much already. It's dangerous." Dr. Lee looked at the synthesis machine. "It's not ready yet. We need something else." Just then the door opened. 3 human doctors in station uniforms entered. "We heard you needed blood donors," said the first doctor, a woman with short grey hair. Dr. Lee looked up in surprise. "How did you—" "Nurse Song sent out a call," the woman explained. "I'm Dr. Yoon. These are Doctors Kim and Bei. We're all O-negative, universal donors." "You would give your blood for an alien child?" Nara asked, astonished. Dr. Yoon smiled gently. "Of course, we're doctors. All patients are the same to us." For the next hour, the new doctors took turns donating blood. The samples went directly into a processing unit where only the needed protein was extracted. Teo received a new dose, and his readings improved immediately. "Now we have enough to keep him stable until the synthetic version is ready," Nurse Song said with relief. Nara's 4 hands were clasped together in a gesture of deep gratitude. "I did not know humans would do this for a stranger." "It's who we are," Dr. Lee said simply. He returned to the synthesis machine, checking its progress. 6 more hours, and we'll have the permanent solution. Later that night, as Teo slept peacefully, Nara noticed Dr. Lee swaying with exhaustion as he monitored the synthesis machine. "You should rest," she told him. "The other doctors can watch." Dr. Lee shook his head. "I want to be here when it's ready. Every batch is slightly different. This one needs to be perfect." "Why?" Nara asked. "Why work so hard for us? We are not your kind." Dr. Lee was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "When I became a doctor, I took an oath to help all living beings, not just humans. There is a line in it that says, 'I will remember that there is art to medicine as well as science,' and that warmth, sympathy and understanding may outweigh the surgeon's knife or the chemist's drug." The machine beeped, drawing their attention. A small vial of golden liquid had appeared in the collection chamber. "Is that it?" Nara whispered. Dr. Lee checked the readings and smiled. "Yes, the perfect match." With gentle hands, he prepared the final treatment. This golden liquid would save Teo's life forever. The morning light from the station's artificial sun streamed through the medical bay windows. 1 week had passed since Teo received the final treatment. The golden liquid had worked better than anyone had hoped. The baby's skin now glowed a healthy, vibrant blue. His eyes, once dull with sickness, sparkled with new life. Dr. Lee checked the final test results and smiled. "Perfect," he said, looking at the screen. "Teo's body is now making the protein on its own. He won't need any more treatments." Nara picked up her baby and held him close. Teo made happy gurgling sounds and reached for her face with tiny blue hands. "We owe you everything," she said to Dr. Lee. Her voice was steady and strong, without a trace of the fear that had filled it when they first met. "I was just doing my job," Dr. Lee replied, but his tired face showed how much he cared. News of Teo's recovery had spread quickly through the station. Other Nilari refugees had watched with amazement as the human doctor had saved a baby that their own healers could not help. The story had changed something important in how they saw humans. "More of my people came to the medical center today," Nara told Dr. Lee. "They are no longer afraid. They ask for human doctors now." Dr. Lee nodded. "I noticed. Dr. Yoon has been very busy treating Nilari children with similar problems." Nurse Song entered the room, carrying a beautiful plant with silver leaves. "This is for you," she said to Dr. Lee. "It's from the Nalari community." The plant had a small card attached. Dr. Lee read the words out loud. "To the healer who gives life instead of taking it. Our thanks." "It is a sacred tree from our homeworld," Nara explained. "One of the few seeds we managed to save. It symbolizes new beginnings." Dr. Lee touched the silver leaves gently. "I will treasure it." A group of station officials appeared at the doorway. The station commander stepped forward. "Dr. Lee," she said formally, "the council has approved your request. The empty wing on level 3 will become the new Nalari Health Center. You will be its head doctor if you accept." Dr. Lee looked surprised. "That was fast. I only suggested it yesterday." "The council was impressed by your work," the commander replied. "And by the new understanding between humans and Nalari. It's exactly what this station was built for." After the officials left, Nara placed Teo in Dr. Lee's arms. The doctor looked down at the healthy baby with pride. "In our culture," Nara said, "when someone saves a child's life, they become part of that child's family. If you are willing, Teo would be honored to call you uncle." Dr. Lee blinked away unexpected tears. "I would be honored," he said softly. 3. Months later, the Nalari Health Center was busy with patients. Dr. Lee had trained his staff to respect Nalari customs while providing the best medical care. Pictures on the walls showed smiling herbivore aliens standing next to human doctors, with their teeth carefully hidden in closed-mouth smiles. In his office, Dr. Lee kept the silver-leafed plant, now much bigger. Beside it was a framed drawing made by Nalari children. It showed a human figure with a glowing heart, giving light to others. Nara had become his assistant, helping translate not just language but cultural meanings. She now understood enough medicine to explain procedures to nervous Nalari patients. And little Teo, now crawling and exploring everything, wore a tiny medical coat that Nurse Song had made for him. No one knew if he would grow up to be a doctor like his uncle, but everyone agreed he was the perfect symbol of what could happen when fear gave way to trust. Sometimes, Dr. Lee told his staff, the most important medicine is simply being willing to understand each other.